Choose Life Church and anyone else that might happen to be watching, just want to welcome you today. We are in the midst of a month-long journey through the book of Matthew, and today we're in chapter 2 on day 2. So chapter 2 is an interesting chapter. Chapter 2 is all about the birth of Christ, and soon after his birth, not long after his birth, somehow some wise men from another country get wind that this Messiah is to be born, and they see a star in the sky that's unusual, and they begin to follow this star, seeking after this promised Messiah. So even though they're not of Jewish descent, they've heard about this, they've gotten wind of this somehow, and so they are coming to worship the Messiah and to bring gifts. When they get close to the Messiah, and they still haven't quite gotten there, they come across King Herod and some of the religious leaders. And I think it's interesting because even King Herod, he had to go to his religious leaders, even though he's the king of the Jews, he had to go to his religious leaders and try to go through the scriptures real quick and try to figure out, where is this Messiah to be born? Now this has been prophesied for years and years and years, and you would think they'd know that, but they don't. And King Herod and the religious leaders of the time, they are very, very upset at the idea this Messiah might be being born and might be living close to them at this point. And King Herod, who is the political leader of the Jews at the time, he was concerned about his position, because if this king, indeed, this Messiah were the new king, then he would lose his position. And the religious leaders were much like him. They were concerned about their religious position more than they were concerned about a Messiah being born amongst them, even though he has been promised and prophesied for years. And they should be looking forward to finding him and seeing him and meeting him and worshiping him. But instead, they're trying to figure out how to get rid of him even as he's being born. I think that's so interesting. And you know, Jesus later on in the book of Luke, he asks the question, he says, do you think that I've come to bring peace to the world? And he says clearly, no. I've come to bring strife and division. And father will fight against his son, and sons will fight against fathers, he says. And so I think it's amazing that within his first days of life, he's already bringing that division, even before he's shared that with the people when he got older. You know, I think it's amazing because you couldn't make this stuff up. And it's got all the drama of a good soap opera. But I think the most amazing part about it is that some people would seek after the Messiah for thousands of miles who aren't even his own people. And they would come to worship and give gifts to him. There's a saying that you hear today, and the saying is, wise men still seek Christ. I hope you are one of those people. I hope you're seeking Christ. I hope you enjoy the story, because I've only given you a little bit of an outline, but I hope it strikes your heart the same way it struck mine. So stay tuned, because tomorrow you'll be in chapter 3, and I'm excited to see what's coming next. God bless you all.